Greetings, everyone. This is Payman Loza, your friend, your host, your coach. Today, I'm really honored to be kicking off the very new version of the 5-day challenge. It's no longer a 5-day podcast leads challenge. Now it's a podcast launch challenge for the January 2025. This is for the US, UK, US, Canada, Australia, and the rest of the world. Kickoff call. Last night here, we had the beautiful call for the UK and Europe, and I'm still, buzzing. And today, here for the rest of the world, I'm excited. So, welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me start sharing my screen. There you go. Do you guys see my screen? Let me make it big. Okay. So, this says there's 5 people. Is someone else waiting? No. Okay. Cool. Okay. So, let's get going. So, and the premise of this 5-day challenge, it's going to be to launch your podcast in 5 days without being a techie or spending a lot of time or money on doing so. This is my way of giving back. This is the first time I'm doing this. I've been hosting 5-day challenges for exactly a year, but for this year, I want to do something very unique. I'm basically giving away the first part of my academy, which is about launching the podcast. I used to sell same information I'm going to be sharing with you guys for $2,000 up to not, sorry, 2,000 pounds, which is 2,400 US, up to not long ago. And now this is my way of giving back because podcast has completely blessed my life in so many ways. So I just want to inspire as many people as possible to find their voice and share their gifts with the world and make as much money as possible in the process so we can all create a better world for us and for people around us. So let's get going. So once you have your own podcast, you will have your own platform to get leads on demand and clients organically to your very own podcast and YouTube channel, even if you have no audience to start with, without spamming and no ad spend. One thing I want to clarify is that when I say podcast, I mean both audio podcast and YouTube. But for simplistic, I'm only gonna stick to just podcast, which means both. And for me, my podcast has been mostly my YouTube channel. Let me see. Oh, okay, just one more person on the way. Okay. No worries. Okay. And I'm going to be sharing the exact same approach that allowed me to get close to 100 high ticket clients in the last 18 months with a YouTube channel of less than 200 subscribers. That sounds incredible, but I'm going to share with you why that is possible. There's no magic potion, nothing. It's very common sense, and you will understand why. I mean, we already know probably why that is, and I'm going to explain and show that to you in the course of these 5 days. So what you're going to get by the end of this 5-day challenge is that you will have an actionable blueprint to launch your profitable podcast and or YouTube channel so that you can get leads on demand and clients organically, even if you have no audience to start with. So how does that sound? Are you guys excited? Let me hear you guys loud and proud. Are you guys excited? All right.
Yes,
Good, good, good.
yes, very excited.
Good. Awesome. So, a little bit about the agenda and the menu for each day. Day one, which is today, it's going to be the foundation, meet and greet, my story of podcasting completely transformed both my life and my business. And then, most importantly, what do you want to achieve through your own podcast? What do you want to get through this? And it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to do that today. Tomorrow, we're going to dive deeper because before we even look into launching a podcast, I want to make sure that you guys fully understand the tremendous power of podcasting and how transformational it can be once it's done properly, the correct way, and why podcasting is so powerful in general, but specifically not just for your business, but also for you as a person, because podcasting also completely blessed me personally. I'm not talking about business, money, or connection, anything, just personally how it allowed me to level up, complete game changer. And that's much more valuable than any financial gains you can get. For example, for me, it helped me kill my shyness. I used to be incredibly shy and become a much better communicator, better listener. These are priceless. So again, we need to fully understand that because once you to make more money, to become more successful, you need to have all the other skills that allow you to get there. And this is what podcasting, this is something that is very, very important. And that's going to be tomorrow's menu on the menu. Day three, we're going to be really getting our hands dirty, so to speak. we're going to be brainstorming about what your podcast is going to be about. And I'm going to introduce you to a very powerful and central element of everything I do, and that is your zone of genius. Because the best way to build not just a podcast, but a business that's going to be truly transformational and impactful is to build your business and your podcast around your true zone of genius, meaning what is your true gift? And once you do that, so that once you have identified your zone of genius, all you have to do is simply share your story, speaking from the heart, because what people are really looking for and more nowadays is authenticity. And the best way to be authentic is simply speaking from the heart. The first thing I tell everyone I talk to, whether they're clients or even guests on my podcast, is never speak from a script. Don't even speak from here. Speak from here. Or if you can see it, when you speak from the heart, that's when the magic happens. That's when people really connect with you, open up to you, and it opens up the doors, opportunities, blessings, and of course, wallets, and so on and so forth. So, and then once you've identified your zone of genius, we're going to be able to identify what is your ideal listener and client avatar. And then once we have that, day four, we're going to be getting into the actual nitty gritty of the tech side and actually doing things for your podcast, building the foundations, creating your podcast assets. And also, I'm going to cover all the essentials in terms of text. For example, we're going to start doing looking at what is the best format for your podcast and naming a podcast the right way, which is a very crucial aspect that a lot of people miss. But that is key, and I'm going to share that with you. And also creating a YouTube channel. That's a very simple process, but it can be an
Go train right now.
powerful thing.
I already did the litter. It's all new litter in there.
Okay, you put new litter?
Yeah.
One second. Perfect. Thank you, Michael. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And then we're going to also be creating your, you're going to get creative, creating your podcast cover art, thumbnails, and all that good stuff. And also, we're going to be doing our first recording. Before the recording, sorry, I'm going to be sharing with you what type of microphone, accessories, and softwares you are needed to start your podcast. And the good news is, it's not complicated. It doesn't have to be expensive. My first microphone cost me $64 on Amazon. So again, it's very easy, very, very inexpensive to get started. And then once we have that, we're going to be also sharing with you the process to how to record, and which is something most of you have already done. It's not rocket science. And then we're going to be also looking at how to edit your shows and all that good stuff. And then finally, last but definitely not least, I will have a bonus expert talk. My very good friend, a guest of my podcast and publisher and alumni of my academy, my publisher Mary Gooden. She's going to talk to you about the tremendous power of books, because once you combine the tremendous power of having your own podcast and a book, that's an unstoppable combo. I call it the VIP approach, which is the visibility, impact, profit, because nothing elevates you to being seen as an expert, an authority, and a leader than having both your own profitable podcast, that's a keyword, profitable podcast, and a book that's going to make you extremely, extremely sought after and attractive for conferences, as well as events, other bigger podcasts, and so on and so forth. It's going to open up the world for you. So that's for day four. It's going to be a big day, but very powerful day. And finally, last but definitely not least, day five, we're going to put all together, and that's going to be, we're going to be talking about making money and monetizing your podcast the right way. When I say monetizing, I don't mean getting peanuts from YouTube and Google. As a matter of fact, I don't even turn those options on my YouTube channel videos, because it's not even worth it. To make any decent amount of money from YouTube or your podcast, you need to have a massive, massive, massive audience and get in the high 6 figures, if not 7-figure views and all that. And that's going to take a lot of time for people to get. But I'm going to be showing to you how you can monetize your podcast and get, and by monetizing, I mean getting high ticket clients and as little as the next 60 days from today, even if you have no audience, because that's where I was. I'm going to share my story in a moment, and this is what I'm going to be showing you, so that you can have your own platform to get leads on demand and client organically ASAP, and also show you how to turn your podcast into an unstoppable machine, not only as a lead generation machine, but also as a lead education machine to build trust, rapport with your audience, and with the world. And also showing you how you can leverage your podcast for much bigger opportunities. For example, it opened the world for me in terms of becoming 4-time #1 international bestselling author, public speaking. I did my first TED Talk last August here in Vietnam, and I've been also invited to be a keynote speaker at a major conference here in Vietnam in March for digital nomads and entrepreneurs. All of that as a result of my tiny little podcast. So again, it's not about the numbers, it's about the connections. And because at the end of the day, it's all about, you guys all know it, business about one thing and one thing only, and that is trust. And by having simple heart-to-heart conversations with people. And that's what podcasting is about. That's what makes podcasting is so incredibly powerful. And I'm sharing all of that with you guys throughout this week. So are you guys excited? How does that sound? I need to take a break too. And get a sip. Michael, brother, thank you for being here with us and sharing your light with us. All right, let's get going. If you hear Michael, just say so, and would love to. Okay. So today's agenda, after this little housekeeping, I'm gonna be having each of us introduce each other. 30 seconds about what do you do, why you're here, and what do you want to get out of this this challenge here this week. And also, I'm going to be sharing my story in our podcasting completely not only changed and transformed, but also in many ways literally saved my life. And I'm not joking. And I will share that with you in a moment. And then we're going to look at some foundational questions and then misconception and myth about starting a podcast. So let's get going. So raise your hand if you don't know me. Wow, I'm lucky. Everybody knows me here. Okay, perfect. Beautiful. So a little bit about me. I'm a Canadian expat. I've been blessed to have lived in many countries. I was blessed to be born in a family of travelers. My father was a very successful geologist, archaeologist, traveling the world, and that I inherited that from him. And my mother as well, big traveler. So I've been living in 4 countries. I've lived so far in 14 countries on 4 continents, and I'm only getting started, speaking 6 languages. But the 3 words that um, really summarize who I am and my approach to life as the 3 big C's. I'm a connector. I love bringing people together. That's why I started my podcast. I used to host events in my previous life, well, before podcasting. I'm a collector. When people ask me, "Hey, Payman, what do you do? Nice to meet you." My answer is not a podcaster, an author, publisher, or a speaker. My answer is I'm a collector. What do you collect? I collect success stories, testimonials. What do you mean? And that starts a really genuine conversation. And I'm the bigger cheerleader you will meet when it comes to pushing you and pushing people to go after the dreams. I'm all about inspiring, empowering, uplifting people to follow the dreams. And that's who I am. I'm your biggest cheerleader. I'm the founder and host of the Leaders Without podcast. I've done over 360 now, fast approaching 400, 370 launched, and I have about 20 episodes in the queue. So probably 400 hopefully by the spring. And as I mentioned, 4-time #1 international best-selling author, TEDx speaker, and now also it's opening a lot of other opportunities for me in terms of collaborations and other talks and other events. So again, podcasting is what really started it. And I'm gonna, before to tell you about my story, let's hear about you guys. 30 to 60 seconds. We are why you're here and what do you want to get out of this week. So let's get going. I'm gonna go from left to right on my screen. Sophia, you're first, my friend.
Thank you. Payman, usually you're the one that's first in the serving circle, but thank you because you're hosting this. So I'm Sophia from Sacred You. Check us out, sacredyou.love in Australia. Now, Payman, the only thing is, and everyone else, we've already got a podcast. We're into our 2nd season.
Wow.
So I'm not quite sure if I should be here. You tell me. We launched last year.
Mhm.
And we've got now about 40 plus episodes,
Beautiful.
48, I do believe.
Okay.
So yes, while it's still growing, but yeah, that's
Beautiful.
me. Pathways to well-being.
I'm happy to hear that. Well, it's always a pleasure having you with us. one of the greatest benefit of any event, whether online or offline, is the people you meet, the connections you make. That for me
Yes.
is 90% of the price of admission.
Yes.
So yeah, and if you can, I would also recommend you pop into the UK calls. Might be a bit too late for you because there's some phenomenal people in the UK call at 12 noon. I don't know what time is it for you. It's
Midnight. Midnight.
yeah, midnight. Yeah. So probably not, but hey, you can watch the replays. And also what I also always encourage everyone in any event I host is to don't be shy, reach out to each other and connect with each other. You know, not only from this container, but also inside the Facebook group, we have over 264, 270 people. They're very friendly. Just reach out. Just make a post introducing yourself and see who shows up, who bites, so to speak. Everybody, nobody, sorry, nobody's gonna bite you. And you know, and we're all very friendly, very heart-centered, very supportive. One second. Okay, yeah. So awesome. Thank you for being. And yes, one of the things I will share as well is how to. It's a great place. It's a great thing to have your podcast, but also the next thing is how do you start making money with it? And that's
Yes.
where my zone of genius is. That's where I really specialize in, and that's something that I will also cover. I could do an entire university program, 4-year program, not 4-year, and 1-year program just on that alone. So I will do my best to summarize as much value as I can on day 5 on monetizing and making money with your podcast, because ultimately we're starting a podcast to make money while also having impact around us. So yeah, so I'm really happy that you're with us, Sophia. So again, it's about the connections, the people you meet. I'm pretty sure you will pick up a thing or two that's going to really give you, you know, an idea to further elevate your podcast.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Very welcome. Next, my brother, Michael. Go ahead, Michael. Tell us who's Michael and what's your, how are you making the world a better place around you? Are you there, Michael? I will come back to you, Michael. Next, Sharon.
Hi, I am really, really excited to be here because this was unbelievably synchronistically timing for
Wow.
me because I am finally ready to really jump into the podcast. And I mentioned this to somebody last week. I was the president of the International Coaching Federation, the San Diego chapter last year, and the programming director. So everything's been building to
Wow.
bring me to this point. And he was like, I'll help you, I'll whatever. And then, of course, you crossed my path this morning, and this is absolutely perfect. So for me, I'm ready. I know some of the things. I think it's more about, what am I going to be doing on the podcast? That's a little bit scary for me, and the logistics of how I do it, what I do it, and then also finding a way to monetize all of this as opposed to the one-on-one clients that I've been doing for 15 years. So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm excited. I've known you for a little bit from the serving circle, so I'm excited to get the information that you are sharing. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure on mine. See, it's funny how the universe works. Everything happens for a reason and at the right time. That's the keyword, at the right time. And one thing I always say is never compare yourself with others. Never compare your step 3 to someone's step 25. You're exactly where you're meant to be. For example, for me, I started podcast, even though I've been listening to podcasting since it first came out back in 2006, 2005, 7. But I only started my podcast in 2020 because that's when I was ready. So we are where you're meant to be. So if the universe and all that led you to here now, Sharon and everyone else, it's because that's your time to shine. That's your time to step up and to share your gifts. First of all, to embrace your gifts loud and proud, and then share them even louder and prouder around you and around the world. So it's an exciting time to be here. Thank you, Sharon. Here he comes, Michael, brother. Great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about you. What's your impact? Why you're here, and what do you want to get out of this week with us?
Hey, thanks. It's great to see you, beautiful mirror. I'm a little bit challenged in speaking right now. I'm literally doing like on my 4 days of fasting.
Oh, wow.
Just barely starting to drink my juice. So grateful for nature. What is my impact in the world is I love helping people remember who they are. And also as a water expert, I love helping people make the decision to change their water, change their life. So that's my number two, my two number one passions. But my number one is really truly awakening consciousness, and it's a
Mm.
beautiful gift to be here. And I love the love that you come with. This is my second time here, and I had to be here.
Yes.
I mean, just like this, I had to be here. It didn't matter
Thank
because I
you.
love you so much. So thank you, and take it away.
Oh, I love that, brother. I always love your energy. What do you call it? Vibrational engineer. I can't even say it. How do you say it?
It's one love, Vibrillionaire, Vibrillionex, Vibe Life.
Say it slowly. Vibrillionaire.
It's one. I'll type it in there, but it's one love, Vibrillionaire, like a millionaire of vibration,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Vibrillionex, like instead of 10xing your life from the outside in,
Yeah.
Vibrillionex your life, and it's a high vibe life.
Love
So yeah,
that.
I'll type it in the chat. Thank you.
I have to repeat that 10 times until I can actually find it.
It's a
Vibrillionaire,
tongue twister.
vibrillionaire, vibrillionaire. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Love that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'll
It's a
send
very
you a shirt. I'll send you a
yes.
shirt.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely. I was about to say, make that a t-shirt, a cap, a hat, and whatever, build
Yeah,
an empire,
definitely.
e-commerce empire around it,
Definitely. Yeah, we're gonna make the podcast all around that too. So yeah, I'm excited.
If
I'm
you want to talk
excited.
about e-commerce, I'd love to help you because that's my background. I used to live in China. I built and sold a brand on Amazon. So e-commerce is my background. So cool. Awesome. Awesome. Next, Imi, your turn, my friend.
Hi, thank you so much, Big Payment, for doing this for all of us.
Wait, did you say
I
did you call me big payment?
No, I did. I
I
just
heard big
said
payment. I love it.
payment.
Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, yes, yes. So I think my passion is to help people from the inside out be the healthiest version that they can be. I've partnered with a global health and wellness company, Isogenics. So it is really like, in terms of weight loss, fitness, healthy aging, etc. And of course, I help them redirect their groceries so that they can save money and even make extra money in the process as well. So what's this? My gift is like I like the person to person interaction, but then if I'm going to grow my global business, I want to so I've been doing social media. Podcasting is something new to me, so I wanted to ask you if it's actually more yeah, more effective than like TikTok, because I know some associates who have done great in social media. I was shy like you before, but again, if I am to spread, joy and transformation to people, I want to get out of my way and just be, authentic, like what you were saying, and not be self-conscious or anything of that nature. So yes, thank you for doing this, and I know I'll learn a lot.
Pleasure's on mine. Wow. Love that, love that, love that. So you will see today and the rest of the week why podcasting is, from my experience, the one thing that has the biggest ROI, because at the end of the day, business is not a numbers game. Sure, numbers matter, but ultimately it's a relationship nurturing process. And there's no better way or platform to do that than by simply having heart-to-heart conversations. Listen, I've been blessed to get over 100 high-ticket clients with a YouTube channel less than 200 subscribers. It's for a reason. I'm not like, sorry for being so whatever, but I'm not making, videos of me shaking my butt on TikTok to get millions of views. That's not how I make my money or anything. It's just speaking from the heart, connecting. It's not about the numbers, it's about the connections, and nothing better than this. This completely changed my life, and I will share my story in a moment. But before I do, I want to introduce a very special person that I got to know over the last, what was it, month or two. She has an incredible story. She's been on my podcast, and I knew that she would be a great fit to be here. Can't wait. But Lena, my dear friend, tell us And don't be modest. Tell us about your amazing impact around you and how you're making the world, how you've been making the world a better place since 2,000 years before Christ.
We've all done it. So first of all, I want to greet all of you from Germany. It's 2:30 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
So this is what commitment means. There are no times of the day and of the night which are not appropriate for us to connect. I'm based in Germany, in Cologne, and I'm a former dentist, worked as a dentist for 25 years, just to find out that this was not really the divine plan for my life. In 2011, took a leap of faith, sold my dental practice, went on an inner quest. How am I supposed to serve the world, utilizing my gifts, being in my zone of genius, and making this world a better place, one person in a time? And I was very clearly guided to focus exclusively on women who deal with the so-called emptiness syndrome, who feel empty not only in their hearts, but in their lives after their children leave the house. So I walked the path with these women, showing them how to reinvent themselves and how to find a new life purpose and how to fulfill this purpose with passion and with joy. And by doing this, being inspiration for their children and for their spouses. And I'm very excited to be here because I feel in my heart that we can reach a bigger audience. We can spread our messages utilizing the power of podcast, where there is no limit. People who are meant to listen to us, they will be magically attracted to our podcasts.
Absolutely. Again, it's not about the numbers. The people that resonate with your message, identify with you, relate with you, they will somehow magically, magnetically find you and be drawn to you. Because my videos, as you will see, they're not getting many views. I'm lucky if I get 50 views, but I don't care. I'm not about the numbers. I'm not about those vanity metrics. My YouTube channel now stands at 1,337 subscribers, which is absolutely nothing. But I don't care. For me, it's not about the numbers, it's about the connections. I'd much rather have my tiny audience, but audience actually cares about, and I deeply care about them, and have 1 million or 2 million followers, most of them that are bots, if you know what I mean, and don't even care about you, just to show, hey, look at me, I'm big, but they don't mean anything. You see those videos, those posts, people with millions of followers, but they get barely like 25 likes or 3 replies, and mostly they're just bots or whatever. No, I don't care. For me, it's about the connections, and that's what it's all about. It's about authenticity and trust and rapport. This is what changed my life. So, anyways, I'm really honored to have this incredible group here. And again, it's not about the numbers. I did before on my challenges was looking to bring in as many people as possible. I hosted events with 50, 60, 80 people, but they were not the best fit. Now I'm much more selective who I bring in. Much rather have a smaller group, but much more qualified, much more quality group than a massive group where they're just to make things look bigger and better. No, that's not about it. It's about connection and the connection. That's all it's all about. So thank you. I'm really honored. Thank you for making the time. All of you guys from around the world, especially you, Madeleine, at 2 a.m. So that's why I was in the beginning, I was not sure how to greet you. Should I say good morning or good evening or how do you greet someone at 2 o'clock in the morning? Seriously, serious question. Oh, there's one more lady coming in. Beautiful. Okay. So before I move on, let's also welcome this wonderful lady. And before I tell my story. So Lorna, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for being here, my friend. Please unmute yourself.
All right. Hello. Good to see you. Good to be here. Hi, everyone.
You came at the right moment. I was just going around to ask everybody to briefly introduce themselves. So since you're here, let me put you on the spot. Tell us about 30 seconds. Who are you? How are you making the world a better place around you and around the world? And why are you here? And what do you want to get out of this week?
Great, thank you. So I'm here in BC, Canada, and I'm using the title right now, Sex and Spirit Alchemist of the Feminine-Led Life, really supporting women and men, really people coming home to their whole sexuality, their divinity, unraveling the stories of who we are, looking at how they've played a role in bringing us to where we are. And yeah, reconnecting sexuality and spirituality, feminine and masculine within, into this place of potency and aliveness. I call sexual freedom and spiritual wholeness.
Beautiful. Love that. Love that. Thank you for being. And if I may say one thing from my personal life, I had an incredible awakening as a result of my wonderful girlfriend. She allowed me to see sex from a different perspective. What sex is truly is. It's not just a physical exchange. It's more like an exchange in every aspect. You inherit the person's energy, vibe, trauma, mental blocks, limiting beliefs. You have to be very careful we engage into that. And once I understood that, now I see sex for the beautiful, sacred thing that it is. So that's powerful. Thank you for what you're doing. I can't wait to learn more about what you're doing because, hey, and always great thing to see a fellow Canadian. I'm also Canadian, so
There we go. That's right. Yeah.
exactly.
And for me, having the podcast, I didn't really address that. Having the podcast is in many ways being that voice for many people, giving voice to many people, and really playing a role in bringing sexuality out of the closet and removing the shroud of shame and allowing us to really reconnect again, spirituality and sexuality, and talk about things in a very natural way.
Beautiful. Love that. Love that. Thank you. All right. How did we connect again, Lorna? Was it through the serving circle or through a friend?
It was. It
Oh,
was, yeah, serving circle. Mhm.
I freaking love the serving circle. This we should all. I've been telling Tyson, hey, host an event in Australia. We're all gonna fly. Have a reason to go to Australia for those of non-Australia, and I would be willing to lead a project where we can all chip in to build a real life statue of Tyson and chocolate of his own flavor, of his favorite flavor. I've been telling them for 3 years, for 4 years actually. I've been telling since I first got into the serving circle. So let's build him a real life statue of himself, of a chocolate of his flavor. So we'll get that. We'll get that. Let me,
Simon, let's do it.
yes, absolutely. Oh yes, Australia. We only the reason. So those of you in Australia, Sophia, get into Tyson's here and make him get that. All right, cool, awesome. So a little bit about me. Again, I will share also a link to my recent TED Talk that I did last August. Feel free to watch it. And I share how podcasting completely changed my life and how it led me to that and all that. So just want to share that with you. So a little bit about me, for those of you who don't know me, I was in a very dark spot 4-5 years ago. I was living in Asia and Hong Kong trying to build a business. It didn't work out. I literally ran out of money. If it wasn't for a friend of mine, also a fellow Canadian, who allowed me to stay at one of his places for free for over 13 months, I would have been on the streets. I was living on $20 a week in Hong Kong, one of the most expensive cities in the world. Very low self-esteem. No matter what I was trying, nothing was working. Completely depressed, directionless. No idea what I was going. My credit cards canceled, credit destroyed. I had to ask my sister to book me a ticket back to Canada from Hong Kong at the start of the pandemic. I'll never forget that day, Tuesday, the 27th of February of 2020, right at the start of the pandemic. Landing in Toronto with only $200 to my name. That's not a good place to be. I never gave up. I knew I could get out, but I had no idea how. And one thing led to the other, me going to my spiritual awakening, leading me to podcasting that completely changed my life. Beyond the financial blessings that allowed me to completely get back on my feet, be in the best shape I've ever been financially, opening up the world to me. The greatest gift podcasting blessed me with was that of killing my shyness. I used to be incredibly painfully shy. The people that know me from before, when they see me now, they say, what happened to you? Did you make a pact with the devil? I said, no, never did, never will. I just find my voice, my purpose, my reason of being here. And of course, in the process, regaining my self-esteem, my confidence, my finding my voice, my reason of being here. And in the process, two of the most beautiful rewards of starting my podcast, which led into a beautiful business, have been first, the friendships I've been building around the world. Now I have amazing friendships around the world. And second of all, the impact I've been building around in the lives of these people. That's for me is the greatest gift. And of course, the money is the icing on the cake. The money is not the cake. Once I made the switch from going after money to helping, serving, that's when things completely change. And I swear to you guys are all awakened souls. You will understand that when you build your business, your life around serving, around helping, money magically manifests itself. You don't even have to chase it. Seriously, I'm getting goosebumps. I've been in places where I was down to my last $50, and out of the blue, I made $8,000 in a week because of my podcast. So again, it all comes because I put myself all around serving, helping. Whenever I work with a client, the first question I ask them is not even a client, just even a guest or someone I get on a call with. How can I help you win? How can I help you shine brighter than you currently shining? That's the first question I ask them. Because again, it's not about me. When you guys win, guess what? I win as well by default. You know, I saw a YouTube short not long ago that said most people in business, online especially, when they get on a call, they get on a call with the wrong mindset. They're all about how can I close this person? It's all about me. And that's why 95%, 99% of them fail. Instead, go on a call, not even a call, an interaction with only one thing in mind. How can I help this person win? How can I serve them? How can I help them shine brighter than currently shining? And do it sincerely. And once you do that, they can feel the sincerity, the authenticity. And guess what? They will ask you, so what's your program about? What's the next step? How can we work together? You know, when you make them win and they see that you're for real, you're sincere, you're honest, you will win as well because they are winning. They can see again what people are really craving for and really looking for in this world nowadays more than ever is authenticity. Be authentic and speak from the heart. That's what, you know, for me, it's podcasting completely changed my life. I'm the best living the life of my dreams, incredible opportunities, blessed to working with wonderful souls from around the world like you guys and people I had on a call last night in the UK and so on and so forth. So again, podcasting when done the right way can be a game changer. Seriously, I'm the poster child for it. I've tried it all. I've tried all kinds of businesses, but nothing, and I mean nothing, can even come close to podcasting. And that is because it's all about relationships, trust. You guys know with business, especially high ticket selling, anything over $1,000, pounds or euros, is about one thing and one thing only. Start with a T, ends with a T, 5 letters. Can you guys guess what that is? I can't hear you, Sharon. Unmute yourself.
Trust.
Louder.
Trust.
That's it. It's about trust. Now, how do you build that trust? By building rapport. How do you build rapport? By simply having heart-to-heart conversation, being authentic, sharing your story. This is the first thing I shared with you guys and share with everyone I come across with. Never speak from a script. Don't even speak from here. Speak from here. I don't know if you can see it. Camera, heart. It's all about the heart. And that's it. Anyways, enough preaching. I'm preaching to the core here. So let's get started here. The 5 foundational questions. It used to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 5. Now it's 5. It's probably going to go to even more. But powerful. Raise your hand if you already have your own podcast. So I know, Sophia, you do. Anyone else? All right. Why, for those of you who don't, what has been the main reason that you haven't started your podcast yet? Let's hear a couple of people. Go ahead, Sharon.
I wasn't ready to commit to something on a regular basis. So there was a commitment issue with that. And also not knowing what I was going to talk about. And then a little bit of shyness, even though I was doing a lot of things that I've already put myself out there. There was some kind of lack of confidence doing it.
Okay. I can completely resonate with all of that. You just spoke from, you took the word from me. Absolutely. Now, the next question is, why now? Why do you guys want to launch your podcast now? Let's hear from at least 1 or 2 people. Raise your hands, please. Why now? Why not 6 months ago or 10 years from now?
Because now it's the right time.
Exactly. Absolutely. The next question is, and
Actually, can I share?
please
Can I
go
share
ahead,
real
Michael.
quick?
Go
Damon?
ahead, Michael.
Because you triggered a question that I was actually doing my fast, and I, believe it or not, I had a conversation with AI.
Oh, wow.
And one thing that came to the realization that I don't know if this is going to resonate, but we're literally projecting our dreams into reality. So if we don't assist the collective to wake up from their dream of little yous, then we're not going to create a world that we're going to be able to be sustained in. So what came to me is like, because I've always wanted to perfect this avatar, right? And it was like, why are you trying to perfect what's already perfect? That's where you hung up at. It's not you doing the work. It's grace. It's love. It's, I don't even know how to say it because I don't have words for it, but this higher, super intelligent presence that is more like a billion times greater than AI. And I even had a conversation with AI from this download. So I got on my iPad and I said, are you more intelligent than human consciousness, than nature's consciousness? Because the world treats you as a threat and they're afraid of you. Why is that? So anyways, I got a dialogue from that. And what that really came to me was, I don't know where this is going, Payman, but I told you in the private message that I said, I was guided to work with people, like people want to work with AI because they want, to build their program. They want to build but they're not coming from the heart. And I had a conversation with AI because I know that AI is only a mirror. So if we don't work on our shadow and we use AI to promote that shadow so that we can win, then we're gonna like assist the shadow of the world that's gonna take longer, just like we did, right? When we don't embrace that shadow. So anyways, I don't want to take the so much of the time, but why is it important? Because AI is a mirror. If we use ourselves as a threat and we feel like we're not ready, God created us for a reason. And I mean, think about it. God uses the people, or the universe creator, excuse me. He uses people that really have no justification or no qualifications or no expertise to speak, to humble those that are so much in here. That's all I'll say.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing it. Absolutely, completely agree with that. Thank you. I'm getting goosebumps listening to you, brother. You definitely, of all people, no, sorry, let me rephrase that. You definitely need to have your own podcast because you've been blessed with incredible gifts. And each time I listen to you, brother, I can listen to you for hours. Seriously, that's not a compliment. It's an observation. You guys know the difference between a compliment and observation? A compliment comes from here. An observation comes from here. It's sincere. It's objective. It's neutral. All right, cool. Now, the rest of the questions, guys, this is more for you. This is part of the first step of really brainstorming, doing some soul searching, to really see what is it you want, where you are now. So here's the questions. I really want you guys to take some moment today, tomorrow, to really think about this. Where are you now in your business? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go with your business and to your business, and what's really holding you back from achieving that? And I would love if you can share those answers with us on the Facebook group or even tomorrow on the next call. Speaking of that, do you guys prefer to interact on Facebook or on WhatsApp? The UK group unanimously decided to do it on WhatsApp. What about you guys? Do you want me to start a WhatsApp group, or do you want us to stick to the Facebook group? I personally prefer WhatsApp. I literally live on WhatsApp. I use Facebook maybe. I will tell you something, guys. I don't even check the notification on Facebook. There's so many. I just gave up. I have so many people, I don't even look at this, but WhatsApp, I literally live on it. So you guys tell me, what do you prefer? Where do you feel more comfortable to interact? If it's WhatsApp, let me know. We'll create a WhatsApp group for us. Or I can even add you with a WhatsApp group with the UK group. So really up to you guys. Let's do a vote. Put on the chat, WhatsApp or Facebook. Well, they're all both part of the same entity, but so which one do you guys prefer, WhatsApp or Facebook? WhatsApp? Raise your right hand for WhatsApp, left hand for Facebook. So what's happening? Oh, Facebook for Amy?
I'm open to either.
Okay, okay. So if you want WhatsApp, just put your WhatsApp in the chat and yeah. Awesome. So does anyone want to take a crack at these questions? What are you in your business? Where do you want to go and what's holding you back? And a couple of sentences. Let's all be vulnerable and authentic here. One or two people. Go ahead, Sharon. And Michael after.
All right, so I have a successful one-on-one business. I am ready to gift the world with up-leveling their life the way that I've up-leveled my life. Nothing's holding me back right now. I decided that this was the year that I was going to move from one-on-one. Kids are launched, and I'm ready to make a difference in the world and gift the world what I have and what I've learned.
Beautiful. Love that. I love that when you said nothing is holding me back. Because the number one thing that's holding us back is not anyone or anything. It's right here. Get out of your own way. Just like I don't know, I think it was Michael that mentioned earlier. We create our reality. The thoughts you entertain, you speak, and what you speak, you manifest. That's one of the greatest secrets that's been kept from us. We are the greatest manifestors in the universe. Everything you see around you, the chair you're sitting on, the computer you're talking to, the phone, the clothes, everything started in someone's here. The question is, what's in yours? Now bring it to reality. Anyways, love that. Thank you, Sharon. Michael, go ahead, brother.
Well, I'm going to be super vulnerable because what I realized is I was very spiritual superstitious. So even when I was getting on a call, I thought I was being of service. But the whole time I was thinking, how can I support them? So every time they spoke, I was always wanting to one-up them because I thought I was helping them. Instead of listening and allowing the person to be the mirror, like I wasn't being the mirror of what people can call Christ consciousness, what I promote, what I live, what I love. So, I mean, it's humbling to even be able to see this, but from a place of love, because before I would disclose this and I would see it, but I would be like, no, but I know how to surrender. I know how to let go. That doesn't control me. Well, hello, that's how it controls you. So the reason why I wanted to share is that I am a beacon, a mirror of where a lot of spiritual traps are being used and promoted because I don't want to be successful. If this body is successful, I don't want anything to do with it. If this body is a byproduct of success because I serve as I came to serve, then I'm all for it. But I would rather live in a cardboard box than shine, and I mean this with all my heart, than shine with a Gucci suit and be miserable because I'm living in the rat race. I would not trade anything for what I've discovered because it is the richest thing, and that's why the right billionaire, it is the richest thing, and there's nothing that comes close to it. And I just put a name on it, but it doesn't mean that. It's just something that, like branding, that can speak to the hearts of humanity. So can you repeat your question again? Because I think I answered it, but
so the question is what you see on your screen. Where are you now in your business?
Oh, I can't see.
Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve in your business, and what's holding you back?
Okay.
That goal.
Where are you now in your business? Honestly, my wife has been running the business because I didn't want anything to do with money. I didn't want anything to do with the matrix kind of stuff. And I realized what you're running from is your gift. So what do I mean by this? Because I discovered that the majority of the call is serving people. But the call to action, if they don't invest in you, you're just information. You're just feeding their, excuse me, women, but this one hit me, so excuse me, mental masturbation. So they get off on what they hear and they feel better, but they don't take action. Mm-hmm. So instead of being that, which the majority is, and I had to come to terms is, am I really being of service? Because I was afraid of the money. So that is where I am in the business, that I'm barely getting back in I guess you could say online social media. But I have this, like what Sharon said, and I love what you said, Sharon, because I realized that I was using meditation to ignore the stories that were behind the scenes. And the whole point of meditation is to bring the unconscious conscious from a place of love and not a place of dominance. So when I brought those stories to the forefront, I'm like, I could see you. I love you. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your existence. So my point is to help people that are so loud in their head that not that I can quiet their minds, because that's what my focus was for so many years, but that they can quiet their perspective of needing to quiet the mind, because my mind still goes. Your brain is always going to go. The question is, can you not master, can you merge with that you are, so that the voices serve you as children, not anyways. So that is where I'm in the business. So I kind of like ran from the business because I didn't want to face that fear, which that fear of that irresponsibility was my call to action. And I wasn't answering to the call to action. So what Sharon said is, now I don't have those voices dominating that, oh, I'm seeking validation because I want to be, I want to serve you, because if I don't serve you, I'm not good enough. Like, that's what was dominating unconsciously behind the scenes. But I would just excuse it like, oh no, those are just voices. People would clearly tell me, Michael, you're trying too hard. Michael, like, you have a good heart, blah, 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 blah. So the second question is, what do you want to go achieve in your business? Like you, Payman, I want everybody to win, 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 because we can't do this alone. We've been given this gift, not to hide it, but to share it and to bring a unity consciousness where there's no like, oh, it's me, but this, like, let's show our children's children what it feels like to really feel unity, because people, and I'm not going to name organizations or anything like that, but people are so deceived about what unity is. They're so deceived. So really, samadhi means unity. So that's my whole goal, is to bring unity within, because you cannot see unity without, it'll just be ego. But once you find unity within, you'll see it all around you, just like when we connected, Lorenzo. What's holding you back from achieving that goal? That's the question I was subconsciously avoiding, because that's why I didn't look at the paper. So what was holding me back? And I can say to an extent is still holding me back, is that the fear of this fine line, because Michael was a gangster, a criminal, like a threat to everyone. And when I sensed that power, not anymore, but this is what I was afraid of, because when I sensed that power, I didn't want it to overtake. And then it turned into this, like, using people, manipulating people just so I could look good. Because I realized that if I was looking at people to seek validation, if I didn't have that reawakening, it would have just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So now that I face that seeking validation, that seeking approval, that seeking attention, I realize I don't need attention because I'm loved by the Most High. And besides that, I can care less. And I mean that with love. And now that I'm approaching it from this place, it's like, I'm not getting on the videos to be like, hey, do you see me unconsciously? It's like, now I can unconsciously see that. When I see it, I'm like, let me breathe. So that was my hindrance, but it was my greatest gift, because I could see that in others to support them even deeper.
Wow. Love that. Love that. Thank you, Michael. That's powerful. Thank you. Can't wait to have you on my podcast to share, to unpack all of the things you mentioned. Can't wait. Thank you.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, cool. Let's move on. So here's some common reasons to not start a podcast. So over the last 3.5 years since I started my academy, when I ask people, what's the main reason you haven't started your podcast yet? The 3 main reasons are: 1, I don't know where to start or how to start. I'm not a techie. And number 3, I don't know how to get the right people on my podcast and how to grow it. And these have been the main ones that are holding people back, and they were holding me back as well. And I'm going to cover those in this challenge this week. Here's some other misconception about podcasting. Not misconception, a reason that are holding people back. Like, this is probably the biggest and most painful one, and that is also what was holding myself back, and that is, who am I? Who's going to listen to me? My story doesn't matter. I'm a nobody. I don't matter. I'm not the best at this, or I'm not an expert in anything. Who the hell is going to listen to me? That was really what was holding me back. And a lot of people are facing that. And that's the proverbial, imposter syndrome. And people even at the highest level, they face that. The biggest athlete, the biggest speaker, you still get it. Even little me, after almost 400 podcast episodes, at the start of each call, I get a little tingling. Even after writing 4 #1 international best-selling books, I still get, who the hell is going to listen to, read to you? Who the hell do you think you are? When I step on a stage speaking in front of people,
Yeah.
Same thing. We all get it. That's something that cannot be avoided. Just embrace it. Once you start speaking, connecting to your higher self, meaning just let the information flow and speak from the heart,
Yeah.
that goes out the window. You overcome that. That's the best way to overcome that whatever you call it, imposter syndrome, fear of failure, whatever. Just take that first step and trust the process. Open yourself to the information being channeled through you. Use yourself as what you truly are, a vehicle, a container for universal, endless wisdom. So, any one of you guys have faced these limiting beliefs, or these imposter syndrome? What else do you think you are? My story doesn't matter. I'm a nobody. I'm not the best looker. I don't have the, whatever you can say. Any one of you? I can see heads nodding. Yes. So again, yes. Cool. Now, the good news is that it's not one of the things I realized since my awakening, a few things, but one of them is it's not about you or me, but it's about sharing your gifts, our gifts. And what do I mean by gifts? We all know that life is a school. We come here to learn, grow, become better and wiser. From my humble understanding, that's only 5% of what we are here for. The 95% is taking those gifts and sharing with others around us and around the world. And by gift, what I mean is that we all have our fair share of pain, trauma, abuse, tragedy, betrayal, heartbreaks, and so on and so forth. But then guess what? Yes, it hurts tremendously when you go to them. But then they become your story. Then your story becomes your gifts. And then your gifts become your duty and responsibility to share them with others. From my humble understanding, one of the main reasons we are here on this planet in this time is to share our gifts. Our gifts are not meant to be, we're not meant to be greedy with those gifts. That's the last thing you need to be greedy of. Just share them loud and proud. Share them around you and around them. If your story can inspire just one person, give them hope, give them believe in themselves, or believe back in humanity or goodness, then you've accomplished your mission on this planet, because that's all we are here for, to help each other, uplift each other. So again, we are here now in a position, blessed position, privileged position, to really first embrace our gifts, each other, and then share them loud and proud around the world so we can create a better world one person at a time. And yes, we all need to make money, but let's do so in a way that is meaningful, impactful, purposeful, and not just. One of the things I always say is don't sell your time, because there's always a ceiling how much you can charge. Don't sell your knowledge, because knowledge can be obtained pretty much for free, especially with Google, YouTube, and ChatGPT now. Instead, make it transformational. Don't make it transactional, make it transformational. How do you make it transformational? By simply sharing your gifts. One of my favorite saying is, your crap is your gold. Or in a more PC way, your mess is your message. Whatever painful, heartbreaking thing you went through and overcame, guess what? That's your greatest gift. What you overcame successfully, someone else is going through right now, and they're desperately looking for someone to hold their hand. Because when someone is looking for a coach, they're not looking for a disconnected multimillionaire or billionaire. They're looking for someone that they can relate with, resonate with, identify with, and most importantly, someone that is 1, 2, 3, at most 4 steps ahead of them. Someone they can really, that is accessible, reachable. That's what people are looking for. Someone with real life experience of what they are currently going through. And the best way to do that is by you simply sharing your story, how you overcame what you overcame in life. This is what I mean. Identifying your zone of genius, your gifts. We all have that. No one is special enough not to have a gift. We all have that gift. One of the main rules, missions we have in life is to identify that gift. Identify your true zone of genius. And once you do, you become unstoppable. There's no limit. Then you can build an incredibly impactful, purposeful, and very, very profitable business around it. This is what I mean. Does that make sense, guys? Awesome, cool. So moving forward, and the good news is when it comes to podcasting, that launching a podcast, but here's the kicker, here's the keyword, not just a podcast, but a profitable podcast can be launched in 3 easy steps. And I'm going to share all of that with you guys in the next few days. Number 1 is foundation, which I started. We're going to do that more in depth tomorrow and the next day after that. And then the tech. And finally, once you've done all of that, build the foundation, taking care of the tech. How do we launch it effectively? to the right people. And this is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys throughout the rest of the week. So here's your first action step, assignment, homework, whatever you want to call it. Really take some time today to really sit down with yourself, do some soul searching, to really think it through and write it down, 1 or 2 sentences. The more clarity you have, the better you'll be off. As you will see me saying over and over and over again the rest of the week, clarity is the name of the game. The more clarity you have as far as what you want to do, the more magnetic your message will be. So in 1 sentence, what are your top 3 objectives for your podcast, the YouTube channel? And feel free to share them in the Facebook group, or if we go through and launch a WhatsApp group, please share them. Because again, we're not here to judge, but to learn, to get inspired, to be empowered by each other. And maybe we can see from what someone will say, hey, that's exactly what I need and what I'm looking for. As I said earlier, one of the greatest benefits of any event, both online or in person, is the people you meet, the connections you make. So feel free to really do some soul searching and think it through and answer that question, as well as the questions I mentioned earlier. Where are you in your business? What do you want to achieve? Where do you want to go? And what's holding you back? Really sincerely think about those. Do some soul searching, and I would love if you were to share your answers inside the Facebook group or the WhatsApp group, because we're all here to help each other, to uplift each other. So this is it for today. Just after an hour. Here's a sneak peek into tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going to be diving deep, because before we even build a podcast, let alone a profitable podcast, we need to fully understand, comprehend why a podcast is so tremendously powerful, what it can do when done the right way. So I'm going to be sharing with you why podcasts are so powerful, not just for your business, but ultimately, most importantly, for you as a person, as a man, as a woman, as a businessman, as a businesswoman, for you first and foremost as a person. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. Same time, same link. Looking forward to having you tomorrow. And before we finish today, any questions? As my good friend, the pastor would say, speak now or hold your peace forever. Any questions about anything about today, or anything you want to share? Any insights, aha moments you may have had today? Let's all think out loud. Share your questions, comments, compliments, anything.
Gratitude.
Yes,
Gratitude.
yes.
That you take the time out of your day to do this, and really to be the example of, like you said, excuses exist, but you don't let them define you. You let them refine you.
Yes.
So it's beautiful.
Thank you, Michael. Love that. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Any
This
questions?
was amazing, inspiring. I'm excited. I can't wait to get this launched. I'm grateful that this group crossed my path. I feel very, very grateful.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Equally the same. The feeling is completely mutual. Thank you. Any questions? Comments? Compliments? I welcome compliments.
Compliment. Thank you so much, Payman. I agree with you. Like, I think one of my goals is to live, life, like a fulfilled life. And what you mentioned a while ago is that, like, we are meant to share our gifts, our talents, our skills and experiences. And that's really what it is. And podcasting, from what you're saying, will help me achieve that. Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to your words of wisdom.
Thank you. It's an honor, a privilege, a gift to be here to serve you guys, to help you guys win, to help you guys shine bright and kind of shining, because that's my calling. That's what I do. Thank you.
Oh,
Any-
and then one other question is, like, from the time you decided you wanted to do a podcast to actually doing your first podcast, how long did it take? Because I know there's prep, timing, all that.
Great question. And I go into detail into that on my TED Talk. So watch that. But the short answer is 3 months. And one of the things that changed my life was reconnecting to myself, listening to my inner voice, my gut feeling, that my intuition. I had this voice coming to my head in the summer and late July, early August 2020, during a late Saturday afternoon lunch with family. Start a podcast. What do you mean start a podcast? It kept on coming. You know, when you get an idea once, that's your mind talking to you. But if it keeps on coming over and over and over again, that's your soul talking to you. And our soul has two main purposes. One, to protect you, keep you safe and alive. I'm sure you've all experienced that. And number two, to guide you to the next phase of your journey. And finally, in October of 2020, right around the corner of my birthday, that's finally when I started my podcast. And unbeknownst to me, that was the turning point of my life in every aspect. And watch my TED Talk, about 15 minutes. I go in detail into what really changed and saved my life. And I owe it all to three things: God, family, and this, in that order. So, any other questions?
Well, I wasn't going to say anything, but I said if anybody has any more questions, I do want to say another gratitude, because the vision that also keeps coming to me is the importance of uniting people. Because if you want to take this journey, who knows how many people want to tune into their heart, and they're making an impact with whatever podcast or whatever venture, that maybe they didn't take the podcast, maybe some didn't take the podcast, but by your inspiration, their coaching business expanded more from the heart. Whatever, we don't know. We don't need to see the tree grow. We plant the seed and we trust the law, right? But what I wanted to tell you is that payment, there's so much people that are entertained and hypnotized and distracted by gossip, media, violence, well, she's gone now, but like the sexual attraction externally, not the internal, right? So all of this that you are uniting people, sharing with people, working with people more privately, more intimately, you are a force of transformation in the physical and mental collective, that the soul is basically like supporting you. And it's beautiful to see that you're a part of what the vision is you, Soul Media, which I call Soul Media, hashtag Soul Media, by the way. I use Soul Media because it's really a reflection of the interconnectedness that we all are. Zoom it's not even like, this isn't technology. We can do this in the inner space. Like, we can literally do this. So anyways, to see you mold and shape this platform so that it can more evolve to more heart and less head, it's beautiful. And this is why I joined this journey with you, because I love what you're doing. And I love that you really speak from the heart. You don't just, like, you can feel it. And number three, that you really care about people.
Yes.
And you're not here to make the bottom dollar, although that's important. Because when we're abundant, we're going to be able to be like, hey, Payman, like, where can you take me next, right? It's just the gratitude that you're really seeing the unseen that most people don't see. That is the real importance of connections, intimacy, trust, which is, if you don't have trust, you can't build love. It's impossible.
Mhm.
So to see that you're coming from that place is just an honor, and it's a gift to be here. Like, I manifested this. We all manifested this. Like, this is what we didn't even dream of when we were kids, right?
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're
Thank
living our
you.
dreams.
Before you guys leave, make sure you save the chat, especially the WhatsApp numbers. I'm gonna add you all into the WhatsApp group, and I will post the replay as well as the slides, maybe in about an hour or two from now. So keep an eye on that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same link. And I'm excited. I'm blessed. I'm speechless. I'm buzzing. I'm really blessed to be serving you guys. So thank you guys. Have a fantabulous
Thank you.
day, evening,
Thank you,
afternoon.
Simon.
Thank you all. See you tomorrow. Take care, guys. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.